right, so apparently there's big Snow White drama going on. I don't know what's happening. I didn't do a YouTube intro. Gentleman and female gentleman, new Snow White drama is destroying the internet and everyone's going crazy. I saw Asmongold Clips, the premium way to actually get news in the world, dropped a video on this. Disney hit rock bottom. And I saw This Peru also made a video on Snow White Backlash. Rachel Zegel crushes. That's not a real sentence, but it's the title of his video. I have no idea what's going on. This is a situation that is unfolding before our eyes, and let's see what this is about. I don't know. Let's see the Asmongold video.
New Snow White.
Ah, that's a bad ratio. Ooh, yucky poo.
Apparently, yeah, this is coming out. Yeah, here we go. Nobody needs that many rabbits.
So, whistle while you work.
Oh, the cringe CGI dwarfs. Why make a remake in this live action if everything's gonna be CGI anyway? Oh, this is gonna be a show. What is that dress? Oh my god.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
To be fair, she's way hotter.
Thank you, Asmongold, for the riveting commentary. This is why we fucking watch Asmongold, ladies and gentlemen, for the facts. Dude, it is so mind-boggling to me that they made a live-action remake of an animated show and it's 90% animation. And this song in the background is cringe as shit. Dude, even the squirrels are CGI! Brother! Guys, you thought you were only getting Snow White, but you're also getting Bambi! Snow White and the 7 slightly shorter than average individuals.
Well,
Work.
bro, it's crazy. It's all CGI.
like, I asked
You
my...
couldn't have gotten actual, like, dwarfs to, like, play these characters? Like, why?
So, who's this for? I mean, is this for, like, are
Great
kids
question.
gonna watch this? Like, the only way that I can accept Disney doing this is the idea that they have to do it in order to maintain the IP. And so they're just doing this over and over. It's like they have to do this for, like, copyright law.
What? That's not a real thing! Bro, ain't no way! Copyright law. Dude, they have been making... They've been making insane amounts of Mickey Mouse shit for years, and they still lost the IP to Steamboat Willie, okay? I don't think so.
Definitely tell you, like, this looks way, way, way fucking better than
Yeah, it looks like shit.
and this
That's a good meme.
bullshit. If, like, all of my friends wanted to
I do agree. It looks way better.
see this movie and they're like, yeah, let's go see the new Lion King, I'd be like, all right, fine, we can go see it. But, like, a girl would have to be at least like a 9 out of 10 for me to want to take her to see this movie. Well, you're not pulling a 9? Well, I mean, I know that, but, like, if I did, that's how bad I would want it, right? Is I'd be willing to see this movie.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? That's fucking bad, guys.
Yeah, I don't know who would watch this movie. This is like one of those movies that I don't really... Alright, we'll fucking go down the drama rabbit hole. Alright, so This Peru made a video, Snow White Backlash,
What's
Rachel
this?
Zegler...
Asmongold's average point.
Alright, it's Snow White Backlash... Alright, so we're jumping into this. I'm curious to see what this is all about. I know that Rachel Zegler, the Snow White star, has been getting an insane amount of hate. I don't know at all what the situation is. However, this character, This Peru, goes through all of the fucking shit on social media that I personally don't really want to see myself. So he is my proxy in order to wade through the terrible articles and tweets. Let's see what it's all about.
It's just been the honor of a lifetime. I think any young person, any little girl, you get to put on a Disney princess dress.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Oh my fucking god, the hypocrisy. I am doing this because I love it! I love it so much! It is my dream! It is the dream of everyone! Also me, I fucking hate this and it's hot and the dress is shit!
It's just been the most amazing experience.
Weird.
From D23, we now have new
Alright.
footage of Snow White, where Rachel Ziegler seems to be turning dwarves into her own personal slaves.
What? This is why I'm not on social media unless I'm fucking streaming and shit. These people are crazy! These are inhuman humans!
Now you wash the dish, tidy up the room, clean those cobwebs.
Gone are the days
That is awful! Oh my god, wait, is this supposed to be progressive? Oh guys, we are progressive. Now the women force the men to work, ladies and gentlemen. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is progress.
where Snow White does some cleaning for once in her life. Now in 2024, the age of I'm too posh to push, they're also too posh to clean as well.
Damn.
And Cheeto uses the broom.
You compare that to the original, and like that Star Wars girl showed, and Savvy said, listen to the delivery, the tone, the change in language.
Now you wash the dishes,
You tidy up the room is delivered entirely differently.
you tidy up the room.
The older one is
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
tidy up the room, whereas Zegler is above them all. She's not here to help them, she's here to command and order. You tidy up the room. You go and do the fireplace. You use the broom.
I could never unhear that. She says it like in the original, it's like, we're a family and we're divvying up tasks. I'll dry the dishes, you wash the dishes, right? It's like, we are divvying up tasks because we need to keep this house fine. But in the Rachel Ziegler version, it's, you do this, you do that! Bro actually just spat. Like, that is a fact, what he just said.
I'll use the broom.
Because that way she's in command. She's a leader.
She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Boss.
Wait, she actually said that in an interview? That literally is the antithesis of what Snow White is about. She was never dreaming about becoming the fucking leader. She just liked family and liked the nature and stuff like that. She was not power hungry. Wasn't that like her whole character in the... It's been a while since I've seen the original Snow White.
Bossing around the menfolk, compared to the original, where it was more motherly.
What a cute little chair. Must be 7 little children.
Led to the house because she needed a place to stay. She thought orphan children lived there and felt bad they didn't have a mother.
You'd think their mother would. Maybe they have no mother. Then they're orphans.
So she thought
that's
she-
so sad, right? What a wholesome character.
Clean the house and surprise them.
We'll clean the house and surprise them. Then maybe they'll let me stay.
Where in the modern movie, what's she even for? What can she possibly provide? Let's face it, if Snow White isn't paying the
Yikes.
dwarves in rent by cooking and cleaning, I'm going to assume she's staging a gangbang. But this Snow White
That is a valid assumption. That is a valid assumption. Otherwise, she's just a freeloader.
movie, from its very inception,
Today, for modern audiences, she's a freeloader. Oh my god.
has been surrounded in drama. Then again, they did employ Rachel Ziegler. This
All
seems
right.
to happen in her movies.
Do you speak the language? Does it matter?
Does it matter?
Do you eat the food? Does it matter?
You have a way with words.
No.
Word vomit.
Not only was there
It's a good thing you're not a writer and you're just an actor.
the return of the drama of who is the fairest of them all, or as somebody else said, for this to make sense, the mirror must have an astigmatism and be nearsighted. But it-
Who is the fairest of them all? And it just shows her. Oh my god! This story is just a shit show now, isn't it?
It also faced controversy because it failed to meet fan expectations.
I can't believe it. That is such a surprise. Don't we know that normally when Disney remakes popular shit like Little Mermaid and stuff, they only do it because they have a passion for the craft and a love of the art? Oh, we're on a different timeline. No, it's not. It's because it's an IP cash grab. Get out of here.
And Rachel Ziegler decided that she was going to talk about divisive political issues in far-flung countries, immediately underneath her advertising for the movie. Issues which her co-star is on the other side of. That's got to be one awkward.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude! Lord! Wait, so the two stars of the movie are taking alternate sides on political issues. I love when actors talk about important political situations. It's so important.
set, hasn't it? Frankly, I don't even know why Rachel cares, being Polish, after all. Personally, I can't wait for her next opinion about a topic she knows nothing about. Well, except that
we need to stand on the right side of history.
Maybe that's why some people were analysing the interview footage, and how her and Gal tend to have very different expressions within them. She's just like me, for reals.
Yeah.
And the dwarves look just as bad moving about the screen as they did in the original picture.
I can't believe they didn't get... Why didn't they get, like, what's his name? Peter Dinklage? Peter Dinklage? Is that who I'm talking about? God damn. The dwarf guy from Game of Thrones. That guy's awesome. He could have pulled off like an excellent freaking dwarf in this movie. It's like they're trying to say, listen, we don't want to hire dwarves because that's, you know, ableist or something. But at the same time, now we're not giving the jobs to any dwarves? Question mark.
They are, to put it mildly, utter nightmares, wibbling around their woodland cabin like sentient bags of blancmange. This is all on top of the original controversy, such as Peter Dinklage deciding,
oh! The goat shows up!
You shouldn't have dwarves in that movie.
You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that f***ing backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave.
It's been quite...
That's such a fucking sick, crazy take. Oh my god! Oh my lord. Bro comes out. Yeah, it's progressive. But you have 7 dwarves slaving in a cave. Okay, dude.
It's a while since the previous Snow White drama. They let everything die down until Disney were forced to release another trailer. The gap didn't really help them though, did it? When it received massive backlash, hundreds of thousands of YouTube dislikes. Fans aren't happy at all with Disney's live-action version.
Yeah, is it because 90% of it is not live action?
Maybe it's because of her hair. I have absolutely no
Her hair is not good. I don't know what they were going for with that.
idea why they've given Snow White this hairstyle, especially when in the parks they have wigs that just give them the proper hair. Although
she could have had normal looking hair, but they decided instead to give her weird looking hair.
when it comes to Prince Charming, maybe be more careful how you wave hello.
Yeah, that's a...
Oh. And Disney needed that gap. They had to try and save things, because this is a very, very expensive production
All right,
for
let's
them.
go.
It started where up to July 31st, 2022, Disney had spent $209.3 million. Although late...
They spent $209 million. The movies get more and more expensive and continue to look shittier and shittier.
Later, the Daily Mail reported that it was actually $330 million.
$330 million! Holy crap!
Well, the film was supposed to have already released by now.
Ah! They keep pushing it back too! Yeah, is this money laundering? Am I allowed to say that? This is, that's just a theory, a game theory. That's just a theory?
But it's actually been delayed till March next year, apparently due to the strike. Although really...
Yeah, the strike, my asshole, the strike. We've seen the fucking scripts you guys are pumping out, actual dog shit.
It's gone through so many rounds of reshoots in that time. What we're going to get in 2025 probably isn't the same movie. I mean, I don't know if you noticed from the trailer...
You know what would be pretty awesome? The evil witch actually just wins at the end. Big twist, evil witch just fucking wins. Just kills her. She eats the apple and dies. Then the witch just stays the queen and becomes an authoritarian dictator. Yo, that would be crazy.
The Ferris.
The rather suspicious lack of characters that we've seen previously.
Wait, all these guys were in the original shot and now they're not in the movie? No way.
Someone had kicked the local homeless out of Starbucks, and they were going off to invade the next local village. No, now, after
They
that
kicked them off and replaced them with CGI? Ain't no way.
kind of budget, Disney, no doubt, wants to avoid all drama. They're desperately spinning their wheels, realizing they've pissed everybody off. And please, sir, can I just get my money back? Unfortunately, even with reshoots, I'm not sure you can save this turkey. Disney's terrible-looking live-action remakes are the stuff of nightmares.
Yikes!
Rather than honoring their predecessors, these remakes are simply wringing them dry for revenue.
God, I actually love that the fucking tabloid crap-ass garbage journalists on the side are actually sort of somewhat recognizing the fact that this is not honoring their predecessors and it is total and utter bullshit. Like, it took us this long to realize how ass this all is. God damn. I remember The Little Mermaid. It was such a travesty what they did with the remake. that they basically, for the sake of progressiveness and stuff, they made the Prince guy completely and utterly useless, and Ariel saved everyone.
And let artistry.
Like, why are they making this movie? It feels like it's just not better in any way than the original. There's no reason to remake something if you're not going to improve it.
And history be down.
I don't know. Maybe retouch the shoddy animation or something. But, like, what is this?
Its problems began a year ago with Rachel Ziegler's comments about the original being extremely dated.
Yeah, maybe if you're actually going to be doing a remake, an adaptation, you shouldn't artistically vandalize the work because you don't like it.
Cartoon was made 85 years ago, therefore it's extremely dated.
Its ideas about...
Yeah, well, the animation is dated, but, like, no one's forcing you to be part of this movie.
women being in...
It's like, well, they need to keep coming up with different ways to shit on classics. Like, what are you doing? Are you going to start censoring Huckleberry Finn and get out of
roles of
here?
power.
Dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
We'll clean the house and surprise them. Then maybe they'll let me stay.
And
It really did censor Huckleberry Finn.
She's literally freeloading in their house. I don't understand. Listen, they're literally queens. It's a monarchy with a queen in a queen ruling the country, right? Listen, obviously a lot of it is definitely echoing the sentiments of the time in certain ways, but guys,
weird love stories involving a guy who literally stalks her.
Love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
I can't believe that this is like your actual take.
Yeah. Weird.
They're just out of step with the modern world. Yes, because as the modern world embraces evil, what you want is things which are out of step with the modern world. This isn't complicated. First, you tell Disney fans that the films they loved as children were crap anyway, because that's always a great defense. It was always crap. Okay, even if it was, have you considered making something that isn't? Even if you want to claim that all the original source material that people like were crap, how are you still managing to make something worse than it? If the
Honestly impressive, right? If the original is so bad, then how could you fail? This is wild. Stumbles upon her in the woods. I can't believe he stalked her like that.
old stuff was crap, it should be easy to improve on, and you still can't manage that.
At the end of the day, this is a story of representation, and it
Is it?
matters.
I thought it was a story about, like, the fucking Snow White. I thought it was about Snow White. Like, an adaptation of a beloved of a beloved work. You know, I thought it was an adaptation of a piece of art. I didn't realize that's what it was supposed to be.
What you're doing in that case is just helping my argument that you shouldn't be employed. I'm telling you, that argument is not going to save your job. And second, because the general way in which time works, this is showing the Telegraph's view of history, that, you know, modern things are better, older things are worse,
All
and we're
right,
just
yeah,
advancing
let's go.
through time towards the promised land. We never could have made a mistake at any point in history that just led us down a horrific path of evil. We couldn't have done that. No, the future's better. The future's bright. The future's orange.
The future's bright. The future's orange.
What the fuck?
Sorry, flashback to...
They're such utter jokes. Like, embarrassingly. They're failing in an embarrassing way. I have never been this impressed by a failure.
But
They show off
adaptation-wise,
actual live action diverse.
Google, it was, you found out later in the 40 minutes era. Little people, well, those are not short apparently, it said in the article. That's like saying Google is not corrupt. And Google is not sponsoring the vice president, which I found pretty. There's a deal there about them sponsoring the vice president with ads. That was a glitch in the system. Pretty much for Trump. because Sean already knows they are corrupt and probably willing to do something about it.
Casts, and they literally backtrack on it, replacing them with CGI homogenized white dwarfs. Have you ever heard of something that pathetic in your life? Like, they start off, the bar was so low. The bar was so low.
No, you don't. You just want to put creepy weirdos into roles, don't you? How can we make Snow White look like a load of circus freaks leading a revolution against the bedroom tax? Does such an approach dispel stereotypes about shorter actors? There's going to be a lot of this, by the way. Nobody...
We have replaced all the short people with CGI.
He wants to use the word dwarf for some reason. These aren't...
Wait, is dwarf a slur now? Is that a slur? I don't know.
just short people.
I don't know. They're dwarves.
It's a medical condition. It's fine. You don't have to pretend that they're just the same as
I really did not know that people even considered that a slur.
everybody else. The argument has been dodged, though, is to just all replace them with CGI people. As glimpsed in the trailer, they are, to put it mildly, utter nightmares, wibbling around their woodland cabin like sentient bags of blancmange. The 22-second extended version of the trailer offers a longer look at a terrifyingly vacant Dopey. It does nothing to allay the nerves.
I cannot even believe those words just came out of your face towards my face.
There's still time for emergency tweaking, if only to avoid a cat-style debacle. But in a sense, it might not be worth the trouble. Why not just spend the money on something else?
Oh, God, they look so bad and so fucking goofy. Oh, my lord.
Deadpool and Wolverine and Inside Out 2 have put the beleaguered studio back on top. But could Snow White and Mufasa end the winning streak?
Oh, my God. It's insane. Look at what they're talking about. Look at the Deadpool. Look at the wins for Disney. Deadpool and Wolverine, the third of a trilogy. Inside Out 2, a sequel. Snow White, a remake. Mufasa, a spin-off. Like, are you seeing what I am seeing? This is Disney. Disney is an absolute pile of festering shit, constantly sitting there and vandalizing pieces of art for little wins.
Movies of misfits.
This is such an insane fall off. It's unbelievable. Like, this is horrible.
No, that's going to be Agatha all along. I mean, this trailer was so bad, even the Mary Sue came out and had to say it backfired on them because it renewed CGI controversy. Snow White woes just keep piling up, like the strange decision to cast Gal Gadot as the evil queen. Not because it's very obvious to anyone with eyeballs who's fairer between the two of them, but because...
Hey, whoa. Hey, we're not getting into that. All people are equally beautiful, in my very humble opinion, I have to say. Everyone is of equal beauty in this world. There's no such thing as ugly people, fact.
Because the actress has been embroiled in controversy over far-flung countries, although this was written on the 12th of August, before Rachel Ziegler decided to do the same thing. Although no...
It's fucking crazy. How did this happen? How do you have two co-actresses in a movie on Disney fighting about political issues on the timeline? I can't believe this. These people, you're actors. Like, what? This is fucking crazy.
No doubt Mary Sue would have approved.
We need to stand on the right side of history.
No other controversy involved vocal bigots who were enraged that Rachel Ziegler was cast because she broke all references of the source material. She received tons of backlash from moral pundits.
Oh, not anti-woke people destroying them for literally defecating on a classic. You must be anti-woke. Do you hate bad movies? Well, you're anti-woke.
Who began commenting, as they always do, when Hollywood destroys the law. They also talk about the dwarf controversy, after Peter Dinklage called it backwards. However, there was a hope that Disney would modernize the story to avoid offending the dwarf community.
Wait, how the shit did you expect Disney to modernize that? Was it going to be Snow White and the 7 homeless people? Snow White and the 7 hobos? Was that going to be the fucking twist?
No, of this.
They did. They used CGI.
How does that help? They're just literally saying, listen, we don't want to engage in controversy with the dwarf community, so instead, we are not hiring any dwarfs. You're welcome.
You can't get more modern than that. Now, I would have said if you wanted to not offend them, you could have given them jobs. Or just hired actors in general and then used camera trickery to make them look smaller. This would work the same way as the Hobbits, because one of the issues with being a dwarf in real life is that proportions can sometimes be off. And so depending what you're actually going for in a character as part of the source material, it is better to use camera trickery than anything else. But instead, the solution was to not hire actors like that.
What the fuck are these ads?
At all. Make
What are these ads that he has?
them all CGI. Oh no, it's almost like our own evil has backfired on us.
I love how they keep going. The further they keep going and reshooting and spending $330 million on Snow White, the more they just make CGI. Everything is CGI. The fucking squirrels in the trees are all CGI.
The dwarves are only briefly shown, but it doesn't look good. The CGI is terrible, and it gives them a very unnatural appearance.
Yeah.
The CGI dwarfs.
Oh my fucking god, look at them with the big noses and everything.
Of course they look unnatural. They're CGI. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Now, personally, for me, if you want to call something a live-action remake, it has to actually be in live action. I don't want to see CGI characters in it at all. Actually, I had the same problem with The Little Mermaid. It turns out the majority of the movie wasn't even in live action.
Okay, but those are fish, okay? What did you expect the live action Little Mermaid to have to do with fish? This is a travesty, because these are human beings. Literal human beings.
Users described the dwarves' appearances as uncanny valley and the stuff of nightmares.
Dude, the dwarves look like the Gravity Falls claymation episode. Gravity Falls claymation. Bro, I would rather... Unironically, this is what we're dealing with right now. Like, this looks pretty equivalent to how jarring the rest of it looked. Like, I'm not even memeing, I'm just serious.
This is truly embarrassing. Yes, but it's what you wanted. At no point do they analyze themselves and go, I wanted this. And yet, it's also crap. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it doesn't, no, because analyzing...
True. I hate that they are actually getting real dwarfs to play this part. I hate that they are getting CGI people to play this part. And then you have Disney absolutely cucking themselves and completely and utterly falling to their knees at every bit of criticism. Chat, stop saying Ava Tyson and Seven Miners.
Whether you're wrong or not requires an abstraction of an idea, and they're incapable of doing that. That's just like one extra layer of complexity beyond them. No, I believe it, so it must be true. Many are blaming Dinklage's comments for the use of dwarves. However, Dinklage never suggested that the problem was with casting dwarves in the movie.
The problem was the fact that there were 7 homeless people living in a cave.
Progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of 7 dwarves.
I can't work out if you're lying or stupid. No.
Stupid. Without a doubt, stupid. I don't think they're lying. I just think they're stupid. See, I have come to the realization in many of years on the internet, you have to know something very important about me. I am a chaotic...
By Google. Women's benefits. Well, previous members about it. Drop ordered Google management to the tech side to find information about Google, whether they're breaking the law like they expected, which they will. I was the little of it, but after being in coma, could not make physical. Then found out Google affect me having schizophrenia for my life. Oh, they never told me, and it just surpassed them somehow. Because I know Google was able to get earphones without being in the military by Google, because my name was everywhere pencil. Because when I was younger, there was a hostage situation, and I put my name on those papers. Well, in 2016, well, not 16, 2017, I was 16 at the time, in a fake Squid Game hostage area. Well, you know, he got settled at a court. Well, he got settled in court. I became military, like I wanted. Military police in RT. But the reason why I ended up there is because of my parents. And all it went away. Almost.
Neutral fuckwit that sits in my own lane and laughs at idiots around me. I have come to realize that I don't blame maliciousness to actions that could be actually explained as stupidity. Incompetence is always a much better explanation than maliciousness in my line of work. Sometimes it's fun.
Alright, this. What you? Says Fort Jackson, like it should. But Jack. Should say women's a misfit. You can believe what you want to believe, but Google is corrupt. It was found guilty in 2023 for
to think that they're doing this on purpose. I instead believe that they're just fucking idiots.
No, he didn't suggest that the problem was with casting dwarves.
No, the problem was the fact that they were promoting a story here about 7 homeless dwarves just living in servitude of this lady in a fucking cave. That was the problem.
Actually suggested that the story was the problem and shouldn't be made at all.
I love how Disney is sitting here and Rachel Ziegler is talking about how it's not 1937 anymore. We need to update our morals. Let's put 7 dwarves in a cave. That's arguably that is the most dated part of the entire story.
How are you going to hire dwarves in a movie that shouldn't be made? Explain that one to me. The problem was always with how Disney should handle the depiction of dwarves. Literally hard-working miners who help Snow White.
What type of miners are you talking about? Like miners or like miners? Like Chris Tyson miners or like coal miners?
What's the problem with their depiction? Exactly. There aren't many roles in Hollywood for individuals with dwarfism. That's why people have a problem with Dinklage doing this in the first place. Keep up. In fact, the studio likely had already made this decision before Dinklage spoke out. We'll get back to that. Oh, they just likely did it. Oh, I just pulled that out my arse and then started smearing it on a wall. I don't know, so I'm just going to say likely and then assume you don't know any better because...
Dude, that's so fucking scummy too.
After all, you are reading the Mary Sue.
Dude, it's like saying that things are allegedly when they're not alleged, really. It's like, I don't want to get sued. Can't believe Mr. Beast allegedly ate his dog. Well, you're not going to sue me because I just said allegedly, right? But it's just totally untrue, just to stir outrage. So they could just literally drop... The studio likely already made this decision. What do you mean likely?
It's not exactly the website for informed moral people. I've come here to see what the latest unhinged download is. But Screen Rant came out with, I think, the most optimistic title of all time. Disney's Snow White remake can break Rachel Ziegler's trend. It
That's crazy.
might actually give Rachel Ziegler a box office hit.
It might break her trend of failing? That doesn't look very good.
She's not had many of those. No, Rachel Ziegler's previous movies haven't been overly lucrative.
Well, that sucks. Says the lady who wants to get paid for every second that the video is streamed.
I don't know why. Rachel Ziegler's career is a string of poor box office performers.
Oh my god. Screen Rant is trying to make a positive article about Snow White, but is just casually, by accident, listing her army of failures. Here is a list of all of Rachel Ziegler's L's to remind you that Snow White might not be that bad for her.
While this may not indicate the quality of production or her performance, it remains that she hasn't starred in a box office hit, although The Hunger Games does at least look as if it may.
Bro, she was in popular movies that weren't even about her, The Hunger Games, she is not even remotely a main character, right? Jennifer Lawrence was the main character. Shazam, she is not even remotely the main character. Oh my god.
Made a profit, even if it was the least successful installment in the franchise, by a considerable $300 million margin. Snow White could finally...
She literally ruins everything she touches. Here you have The Hunger Games, a successful series, okay? Super duper successful series like The Hunger Games. They put her in the third one, completely bombs.
Break this trend. I don't think there's enough masochists in the universe for it to break that trend. Given Snow White's popularity as a brand, although at the moment it looks like Disney think it's got a broken leg and planning to take it out back with a shotgun, certainly does for anyone looking for eye candy in this movie, they praised Gal Gadot's beauty and pointed out that she probably should have been the princess.
Oh! That's crazy!
Well, I mean, out of the two of them, I have no problem with her being the witch as long as you had somebody that beat her as Snow White.
The fairest one of all.
The haircut. I don't know, man. I can't sit here and listen. All people are equally beautiful in Nuxaland. Okay, I have a problem where I don't see race, I don't see color, I don't see not beauty. All right, but also the camera shot spreading her eyes this far apart. I don't know, man. Again, it's not easy to be this little of a racist like I am, and this little of a sexist. But that hair though, like, what are you doing?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest in this kingdom? The mirror must have an astigmatism and be nearsighted.
Damn.
Isn't Snow White supposed to be more beautiful? How jealous would the queen be if she was the beautiful one? Or what will the conflict of the story now be that it won't be for beauty? I don't know, with two women, it could be anything. Oh, you've got a Stanley Cup that I want? Give it here. Is Snow White going to get a poisoned apple because the queen thinks she gave her a funny look once? Right, Rachel Z.
Yeah, this is so weird. Wait, what's also so wild to me isn't the idea of making someone a queen because they are the prettier one, isn't that kind of a dated idea? According to the Ziegler shit, doesn't that kind of seem weird? What, someone's gonna become a queen because they're the fairest, they're the most beautiful, and then they're gonna say, oh, she's the most beautiful, even when, listen, everyone has their own opinions and tastes. But it seems like it's pretty unanimously decided at which of the two of them are prettier.
Ziegler saying that she was so unbelievably proud of what she's done, presumably in an attempt to balance out all of her previous comments, which she hopes everyone's forgotten by now.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
Then why the fuck are you adapting it? You should only be adapting something if you love it. Dude, again, talking to the One Piece live action creator, like, that guy's a legend. He loves One Piece so much. That's why he pushed so hard to give One Piece a Netflix adaptation. Like, how the fuck are you gonna adapt a classic and just say, oh, I hated it, it was awful, we're changing everything about it?
Do kind of have to ask, what version of the film is it that you're most proud of? Because there seems to have been a few. The rumors have constantly been coming out that Snow White has been undergoing reshoots for basically over the last 2 years after Rachel Ziegler's PR disaster.
Rachel Ziegler, you stupid.
Originally filmed over 3 months in 2022, the release will be basically 3 years after they originally completed filming. Afterwards,
they literally had to refilm half the movie. Because Rachel Ziegler was such a failure.
Rumor goes that there was additional reshoots done in 2023, with the goal to being insert flashbacks of Snow White featuring actress Amelia Foucher as a younger version of Snow White.
Wait, no way. Half the reshoots were just a backstory with a different actress. They were trying to cut her out of the main character role of the movie as much as possible. That's insane.
More reshoots done afterwards. The more interesting part comes from another rumor from a source at that Park Place, which alleges that the reshoots were done for these reasons: to clean up the original version, to exclude dwarfs from the final product, except one live actor.
That's so fucking funny.
This was done to allow for CGI dwarfs to be inserted, and may have added an additional $30 million to the cost.
Oh my god, dude, these people, they have no spine. It must hurt for Disney to stand without a spine like this.
Another set of reshoots was done because focus groups detested Snow White as she was portrayed. They brought...
Ain't no way. So they did reshoots. They're literally trying their best to cut her out of a movie where she is unironically the main character. She is the main character in a movie that they are actively trying to cut her out of, with flashbacks with different actresses and cutting different scenes. Bro, if they could literally debate everyone by fucking destroying the world, make this some sort of parody. Talk to the queen and the mirror, and the mirror say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the bitchiest of them all?" And then it twists to Rachel Ziegler saying to dwarves, "Dwarf, clean the floors, wash the dishes, make the bed." In the little dwarf cottage, or cave, as Peter Dinklage liked to put it.
The younger version in to try and soften the Snow
Oh my god, they're actually trying to replace her in her own movie.
White character, and alleges that a third set of reshoots just wrapped because the end result of that was still that the movie was incoherent and disjointed.
No shit, when they cut out 50% of the movie and just replace it with random garbage, it turns out the movie is disjointed. That's crazy.
So they attempted to align it more closely with the original movie, while still allowing Zegler to have her modern evil message, albeit one that is softer and less militant. And I guess we'll be able to get confirmation of that last one when we actually see the movie, because Ziegler's comments about it 2 years ago were anything but soft.
Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power and how to find her own
Coming into her own power.
agency. All of
Agency.
Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's
What?
about coming into her own power and how to find her own agency. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
You want to cut all the scenes out of the second main character of the entire movie?
It's Hollywood, baby. It's really wonderful.
So basically, if Snow White doesn't come in and just start beating you around the head with this message, then you know that some changes have been done. Disney thinks they have a winner on their hands, and they're going to drive it towards female audiences as hard as they can. Well, we all saw how that went for Madam Web, didn't we? Where Madam Web spent most of their ad spend on TikTok, aiming to get a female audience in for it. And, yeah, that didn't work. In fact, it finally taught some people in Hollywood that I don't know if women are enough to carry the box office here.
That is such a fucking weird sentence. Okay.
I mean, males make up 65 to 70% of the superhero audience. And in the case of Madam Web, the percentage of female viewers was still only 46%. Just
Wait, so they targeted it at a viewer base that wasn't actually the main viewer base of the shit, and they wondered why it failed? This is like trying to say, Star Wars has appealed to the males for far too long. We will now appeal it only to the females. And then they just make absolute dog shit Star Wars content. Like, this is an awful idea. Let me explain something to you. No one is gonna watch The Acolyte if they've never touched Star Wars before. Like, this is just a fact. No one is gonna watch the newest superhero movie if they've never watched superhero movies before.
despite virtually all of the marketing being aimed at them.
So all the marketing is aimed at women, and 46% of the viewers was women. That's a failure, Disney.
You're gonna do better in Snow White, do you? It's a
Very excited for the Naruto live-action remake where it's targeted at a female audience.
really stupid plan. Let's see if it pays off. And so, with all of these problems already just at the core of the movie, the
Bro, you're not gonna like Jiraiya in the Naruto remake, I promise you that.
last thing you want is your actors causing trouble for you on the internet. And yet, that's exactly what Rachel Ziegler decided to do. Unable to physically keep her mouth shut about anything. Just come out, talk about the movie, and shut your gob. No, Rachel Ziegler is basically like hiring a nuclear weapon, which is already...
Wait, what was the tweet? Hold on. Rachel Ziegler is trolling her much more famous and beautiful Snow White co-star.
And shut your gob. No, Rachel Ziegler is basically like hiring a nuclear weapon, which has already been set to detonate.
This carpet is a person with feelings.
It doesn't matter if
What?
you want to be a business that wants to make money and nothing else. She will drag you into trouble. Even when marketing her own movie, she still couldn't keep her mouth shut underneath the advertising. Because what? She forgets that there may be various people in the audience, and maybe you want to take in money for your product from all of them. Especially as your co-star takes the opposite position. You could have used this opportunity to go, we don't care. No, we just want to make money, bros. That's all we're here for. Instead, Rachel Ziegler, as ever, a wonder to the fans.
Oh, it's insane. It's such a wild Also, like, comparing Gal Gadot to Rachel Ziegler in this conversation is insane. Gal Gadot is Israeli. She served in the Israeli military because it's a mandatory draft in Israel. So, she served in the Israeli military. For her to have an opinion on the Israel-Palestine conflict actually does kind of make sense. For Rachel Ziegler to have one is a little funky and weird. Like, I'm just saying.
They're at the forefront of her thoughts, as always. Her wildly inappropriate statement causing further damage to the film's promotional campaign, in which the trailers are already being ratioed, and has even pissed off fans of her co-star in the movie. Now,
This is so fucking crazy. This is so cringe. They're literally just eating each other alive.
even people that would support the movie because they like the other actress are attacking the other actress in the pissing movie. It's just bad promotion and bad business all around.
This is huge cringe alert. Huge cringe alert. Cringe alert!
Because Disney refused to put a muzzle on their actors, or at least haven't yet really.
Put a muzzle. What are they supposed to do? Not let them tweet on social media? You expect Hollywood to become Niji Sanji?
Realize that they should go around hiring less problematic ones. Then again, Disney employees have the same worldview, so maybe you've got a deeper problem there, Disney. No, this obviously distracted people from giving a crap about Snow White, and instead, people started talking about Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot falling out. Obviously, tempers were high, and you've chosen two different sides of the battle. And
This is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. We're watching. They made Gal Gadot the evil queen. They made Rachel Zegler Snow White. Everyone hates what Rachel Zegler's been doing about Snow White. Everyone's been rooting for Gal Gadot in the movie. Then they each come out with their political stances, and they're literally like, what is going on? This is like the craziest shit show of all time. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to sit on the sidelines and make fun of the chaos.
Advertised it to the public. So when people are going, she genuinely can't stand being next to her, it's like, well, it's not exactly a happy face, is it? They even got likened to clips from The Boys. I've just met Homelander. More people were going, oh, Gal Gadot's total obliviousness makes this even funnier. I actually don't think it's obliviousness. I think it's
It's because she's an actress! These people are actually brained. Gal Gadot is so oblivious that she hates her. Or she's an actress! Who knows? Who knows?
professionalism. This is just how adults in the room act. You know.
She's also an actress, like a literal actress.
No, when you're an actor.
Like, she can't act. She can't even make believe she likes her when they're standing next to each other. Oh my, you know that she sees all the posts on social media talking about how Gal Gadot is prettier than she is, and she is fuming about it. She hates it. She hates it so much.
Actress, you should be able to act as if you're happy and interested. Be able to act as if you're not a complete bitch. Of course, none of this will stop any of them eating themselves. Oh my god, replacing dwarfs with CGI, that's not progressive.
It's so fucking stupid. You do realize these people are just eating their own tails at this point. Like, no one has any arguments. It's just, it's a race to the bottom of the barrel.
Good. I mean, I don't want to side with Disney, but to me, you just wrote a headline that go, replacing the Seven Dwarfs with CGI isn't evil. Disney said they wanted to avoid reinforcing stereotypes. Like what? That dwarves are...
Short?
Dwarves? I'm not really sure what's...
That's a weird stereotype. I don't know.
Stereotype you're going for. We don't want to go for the stereotype that dwarves are short. I'm sorry? Because...
Listen. You've been fooled by Big Pharma, okay? You have been fooled by Big Pharma. Dwarves are not, in fact, short. Short people, not short. Moist critical, tall. Big Pharma has tricked all of you.
We didn't want to have stereotypes. We decided to just not employ them. Especially as they themselves were going, it boggles my mind that a network, instead of listening to a community, is listening to one person. That's just how much pull this one person has created in the society because of where he is on the level of popularity. Yeah.
Bro, Dinklage. What a fucking goat. Bro was the best character at Game of Thrones and came back here to impale this shit.
And it is really personally beneficial if other people don't get to that level of popularity to compete with him on jobs. And over time, these opinions got even more bizarre. There's a huge problem with Disney's live-action Snow White trailer, again, about the dwarves. This trailer makes me kind of angry. I'm like...
Me too! As a hater of artistic vandalism myself, like I did in my entire 2-hour-long main channel video, yeah, this makes me angry too.
Like, what? My opinions on this matter have sharpened since the image was released, especially with new Time Bandits. Now he starts going, oh yeah, that's because dwarves lose out on jobs. Fair enough. But then he says, I'm still annoyed that Peter Jackson was not casting little people, you could say dwarf, it's fine, in Hobbit roles in Lord of the Rings. And he's
People are not actually mad about this. People are not actually mad about this shit. Like, there is no one on the planet that is mad that in Lord of the Rings they didn't get actual short people to play the hobbits. There is no one on the planet actually upset about this. They are actually fabricating this garbage. Also, hobbits aren't dwarves. Dwarves are dwarves. There are actually dwarves in Lord of the Rings, and they're called dwarves. Imagine fabricating this outrage trying to hate on Lord of the Rings. By the way, the greatest cinema ever made, hot take, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the greatest movies of all time.
It's like, yeah, but that's because the hobbits are little people. Dwarves are not just short people, it is a medical condition. And so you kind of have, like, out of proportions and stuff. But the hobbits are just normal people.
But smaller.
Therefore...
Yeah, they're like moist criticals. That's what you're looking for.
Because they have to still be in proportion, it actually does make more sense to have a normal-sized person who then you shrink down so that proportions stay the same. There's nothing wrong with this. It's perfectly logical. And
also, in Lord of the Rings, there are actually dwarves. Like, this is great. I don't get the fucking insane. There are actually dwarves in Lord of the Rings, and they're called dwarves. Right? You know, in the mines of Moria, those guys, the Gimbleys of the world.
And of course, the very diverse and progressive Rings of Power commits the same erasure. It has a colourful coalition, but includes 0 little people. Huzzah for progress.
This is the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen.
Actually, it is. Huzzah for evil. Actually, it is progress. In the stack, one's higher than the other, and so if you crush everyone else beneath you, that is moral, by their own ideology. There's a reason why you actively shun anyone who believes this stuff. But my favourite bit is, as he goes on, he decides to start...
These fucking... I'm so happy that Disparu wades through these absolute dog shit articles so I don't have to.
Calling it the LP community. The little person...
The LP community. Little person community? The LP community? That is such a terrible name.
Community.
Is that a real thing? The LP community? There's no way. It's like... It looks like the MLP community, like the My Little Pony community, or the CP community, which is a totally other community that we don't want to talk about here. But LP community, I would never read LP and think it's referring to little people.
Like, he can say dwarves when it's referring to the animated dwarves. But anyone else has to be called LP. Rather or not, the entire LP actor, LP...
My little person!
He rolls. The only major show in history to have LP in it was Disney's Willow reboot. Well, there you go, then. Look how...
Problem solved.
Well, that turned out. But
Pretty sure that was a massive failure.
as was written in IndieWire, Christian Lopez mentions, if you're a member of the LP community
This is crazy. I can't believe this. I can't believe they're actually calling it the LP community, like unironically.
or disability community in general, you've seen this story before, the media frenzy, followed by backpedaling, followed by the eventual erasure of the disability altogether.
What? I am so confused. Wait, so let me get this straight. So, according to this, anytime there is a character in a movie with a disability, you need to get the actor to also have that same disability play that part. So you're saying, if you have a character with Alzheimer's and dementia in a movie, you need the actor to also have Alzheimer's and dementia. Is that the argument that they're making here? You have a deaf character in a movie, you need the actor to also be deaf. That is the argument? I'm just trying to understand, okay? I don't want to mess with the LP community.
Yes, but then again, look what you just did. Rather than calling them dwarves, you started calling them LPs because you were afraid to actually talk about the disability altogether, which erases it. Maybe people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, eh? And so it's no wonder then when dwarves came out themselves, and they weren't happy about it. Zach Roloff talked about how they updated, diversified Snow White, but went way backwards on the dwarf side. I hope Dinklage is happy. They aren't just taking away the dwarves and making Snow White, they're CGIing them. This isn't 1937. There are actually a lot of people with dwarfism walking around. Either focus on Snow White or own the dwarf representation. But
It's crazy. It is crazy. But by becoming a more representative movie, they're not including any dwarfs, but they're CGIing them instead. Can you imagine making a movie like, okay, all right, this one's gonna be this hypothetical is gonna blow your minds. Imagine they remake some Disney movie, whatever, who cares? But all the men are CGI. All the women are real actresses. All the men are CGI. Imagine that. That would be awesome. Huh? That would be crazy. Just no male actors in the entire movie. It's just CGI dudes. That would be insane.
But the problem is, Disney did this to themselves. You heard how Rachel Ziegler spoke about Dwarf White at the start.
She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
They did it because they wanted to embrace progress. And then people are, oh, I can't believe you've done something horrible. Of course they have. The entire ideology does something horrible. But everybody else, no, they want to use it for their own benefits. That's why they support it in the first place. Oh, I'm weak. I'm a victim. I can get something out of this. And then they wonder why it bites them. It's because the people involved were never motivated by trying to do the right thing in the first place. Instead, everybody...
Yeah, this movie is going to be a hodgepodge. Her character, I think Snow White's character in the movie is going to be one of the biggest nightmares in character writing of all time. They're going to try to make her humble and simultaneously power hungry. And that does not fucking mix. Ever.
He got involved, all got on board the train for self-interest, for their own reasons, because they could get free stuff out of it, because they thought they could be lifted in positions which they haven't earned just because they ticked enough boxes. And then they're surprised when somebody else comes along who ticks more boxes. Or maybe that box, we can't allow that anymore, that makes you a bigot. Everybody's all on board until it backfires on them. The real issue is, nobody else can...
No one's on board with anything. I think it's time for everyone to open your eyes and look at this realistically for just a split second. No one is on board with anything. Everyone has no opinion and just wants to appeal to as many people as possible with stepping on as few toes, except some people are idiots and their mouths just fucking yap. Like me or like Rachel Ziegler,
really defend you.
who should not ever be mentioned in the same sentence again.
Because if you've been arguing that the best person for the job should have got the job, and you go, okay, well, clearly they're the best fit for the job. But that isn't what people are cast on anymore. Everyone embraced these ideas because they thought they'd be better off. And it turns out, no, maybe you're the one people are stepping on to get a job, rather than you stepping on somebody else. Now, any movie which has gone through this many reshoots...
It's wild. The movie's going to be a hodgepodge nightmare. It's going to be a fucking Frankenstein's monster disaster of a movie with different parts that aren't going to mesh with characters that everyone's going to hate, with political ideologies fighting behind it when it comes to the behind the scenes. All that's going to happen. The movie's going to be a travesty against man, God, and art. And ultimately, you know who loses? Everyone that's trying to push a political message into this movie loses because people are going to be laughing at how you are pushing the political message. That's the end result. You are making enemies to your own brand.
Is going to be a disaster. Any movie based on the ideas that Rachel Ziegler was speaking about at first is going to be a disaster. And I don't think any amount of reshoots can change something that ingrained in a movie. But at the end of the day, I find the drama interesting to look at from the outside in. But
Interesting. Listen, as the chaotic fuckboy that I am, I do love to laugh at idiots, and they have been such morons.
I have no dog in those fights. I just see this as everybody eating their own. Yeah. They all got together and invented a way of life that stepped on the people who deserve to be there in order to enrich themselves. And then, once they kicked out all the people that should be there, well, now they're stepping on each other too. And so at this point in this fight, I'm not...
This is a new Mr. Beast video. I put 7 cannibals in a room together with no food for 6 days. Wanted to see what happens.
Defending anybody, but I will stand back and laugh. And at 300 or 400 million, whatever this movie will end up costing, there is no way this is going to make their money back. And that is
very funny.
But those
very, very funny. The catastrophic failure is hilarious. I am here for the catastrophic failure.
These are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe. More videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next.
Thanks for that one, bro. I do like the Disparu videos. I like that he goes through the fucking shit. And he wades through the pool of garbage that is the social media shitstorms. I like watching a big tragedy unfold before my eyes with no actual damage being done. And this is that tragedy. And Disney taking $400 million of collateral damage, in my mind, not tragedy. The fuckwits pissed in their own bed and they wondered why it smelled like urine. Thank you for being here. Thanks for enjoying. I will be here to laugh at more idiots tomorrow. Stay weird, fam. If you made it to the end, click one of these 2 videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kick. Stay weird, fam.
Who in the